when you start taking decisions that are emotional, for the most part, they're very impulsive and they're very, they're not very thought out. And so, because they're not very thought out, they're very quick. They don't allow for you to really think the consequences through, because every decision that you make will have a consequence. There will be a result. There will be something that will happen out of your decision. And so every time you're going to make a decision, you should always consider that and see, like, are you okay with whatever result is going to happen? But when you're making an emotional decision, you're not thinking about that. You're just acting, like I said previously, you're just being very reactive, and you're just reacting to the situation, and you're doing right off the bat what you think is going to help out the situation at first. You're not thinking it through. You're not thinking about the logistics really of what's going to happen. And that's the thing here. You're not in a logical place. You're not logically trying to solve anything, really, because it's an emotional decision. So basically what you're really looking to do is release your emotions. So if whatever the situation is, if it's causing you any sort of anger, what you want to do is release that anger. That's really what your emotional decision is going to do. But if this situation is causing you anger, but let's say that in order to fix it, maybe you can do something that's a little bit more better in order for the problem to be solved, then in that case, it's coming from a more logical standpoint, because the decision has a purpose now, and the purpose is to fix that situation, not really just release your emotions. And in my opinion, every time you make an emotional decision, it's very selfish, because you're really looking after your own emotions. You're really just looking after your own emotional release, and you're not considering like what your decision is going to cost to perhaps other people and other companies and to the city. You're not considering all the harm that you're going to cause with your emotional decision, and you're just going to release your emotions, sure, but then there will be consequences, and perhaps the consequences are not immediate. Perhaps, you make a decision like we were talking about here in downstairs. Perhaps nobody saw you do anything, but eventually this is going to get back to you because of the mindset that you have. Having this type of mindset,
sure,
where you're always taking decisions based on how you're feeling, eventually that's gonna lead you a very wrong path, and eventually you will be caught doing something that you're not supposed to. So it's only a matter of time. So the best solution to this is to really change your mindset and stop making decisions that are solely emotional. Sure, once in a while you do want to make those, but like I said, you always want to be considering what the consequence is going to be, what is going to be the outcome. Think about it, and don't think about it selfishly as well. Don't just be thinking about how it's going to affect you, but also think about how it's going to affect the other people, because some decisions can affect the people around you, or your city or your business or your family. So you have to consider them as well. So definitely always look to add value and to fix a problem, and create a solution with your decisions, not create a bigger problem with your decisions.